You're listening to Well, I Laughed, Part 3 of Red-Handed, listener episode.
Girl, I don't even know where to start.
Okay, first we need to tell them that remember, if you've been here since the beginning, you remember they're the lost files of the first 3 episodes, or the first 2 episodes, and Grant and I had to re-record. Well, welcome to another one. We have already recorded this episode a while ago, and then I went to go edit it and realized the audio was fucked. So fucked that I was trying to edit it, and Adobe Audition was like, "I can't help you.
You have pushed me past the limits."
Yeah, and so we're re-recording this. So next week's episode we recorded before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Now in the present, it is after Thanksgiving, and it is also like the week before you're gonna hear it. Like, we're recording on a Thursday. This episode comes out a week from yesterday, so that's really good for me in my editing cycle. Technically, I'm supposed to have already finished editing this.
It's okay
by Tuesday.
It's a listener episode. We know we got a good one. We had a lot of fun.
Yes, we did.
Because here's the beautiful thing.
I also don't remember some of them. Yeah, I'm just full goldfish moment. I forget everything.
But there's always so many stories that we're doing, and it's so great. I remember really enjoying one of them, and I think I have forgotten like the big plot point. Also, so sorry. That means the re-record means that our little hot goss catch-up session is going to be not in order. Right. Who knows what we talked about that day. But you're about to jump into the past next week because you're in the future this week. Okay, let's get into it. How was your Thanksgiving?
Casey and I went to Florida with the family. Casey's brother was not there, so it was just, I was the only other woman that was there that was not grandma or mom for the nieces and nephew that were there. So it was just like an entire week of, Auntie Maya, Auntie Maya, Auntie Maya. Hey, Uncle Casey, is Auntie Maya awake yet? Uncle Casey, can I wake Auntie Maya up? Auntie Maya, look, Auntie Maya, watch. Which, like, I love them. I was ready to leave.
Men are invisible to people until they hit age 8.
Yeah. Casey has learned that if he just ignores them, I think they stop paying attention. I do love them. I don't want it to sound like I'm like annoyed by them or anything. But children are a lot, you know? And it's just like they have so much more stamina of just like, watch me do this. And we're going to do this again. We're going to do this again. We're going to do this again. And it's like, oh my God.
I saw this one comedian who was explaining this exact thing. She was like an aunt. And she goes, hey, I want you to know, we're cool like this. So you can always take whatever creative risk you want with me. But what you just did, everyone can do that. That wasn't impressive.
Give it a couple more years and I'll be hitting them with that.
Yeah.
But no, it was good. I have one main story, but I don't know if you want to get into any of your stuff.
I want to be sharing stories anyways, so let's hear this one.
Okay. Grant already knows this one. Kind of.
Listener, I did not know what story she was going to cue off because Maya and I will intentionally like not share things with each other so that we can catch first reactions on the podcast. Yeah. But I'm excited for you to hear about this one.
So I'm sitting on the beach with Casey and my whole family, right? And my oldest niece is 6 and she's into cheer and like gymnastics now. And I used to do gymnastics as a kid. And so she was like, tell me what to do and I'll go do it. And like basically like cheer practice. And so I was like, okay, do like 5 cartwheels and then come back and like do this and come back. And then finally to get her to stop, I was like, cause she was just going to keep going for hours. I was like, okay, I'll do a couple cartwheels with you and then we're going to be done. Okay. And she was like, okay. And I get up to go do this and we're going to do 2 cartwheels and a round off. And Casey was like, you're going to hurt yourself. And I went, don't tell me what to do.
Casey is the old man at the start of a horror movie that warns you not to go to that cabin.
And I was like, screw you, honestly. Like, I can do a cartwheel. Like that time that I hurt myself, I was doing a handspring. Obviously, I was going to hurt myself. And so it's like, don't come at me. So I did a cartwheel. Everything was fine. I did another cartwheel. Everything was fine. And then I did the round off and I landed and I went, shit. I like my knee just like, and definitely the meniscus tear reflamed. Now I can't bend my knee past like here right now.
Okay.
I was trying to stretch it yesterday and somehow made everything worse and couldn't walk on it again. My knee identifies as a bag of rocks. So that's really fun. I hate it here deeply, deeply and truly.
So this is coming from 5 years older. Okay. Day one of my Thanksgiving break, I went to the gym in Lincoln, Nebraska. And that naturally shocked a lot of people in our home.
Yeah.
And I go, I'm concerned that if I stop moving the degree to which I want to stop moving, my body will get ill.
Yeah.
I need to kind of microdose a regular day today so I can go horizontal tomorrow, because this train will skid off the tracks if I pull the brake.
Yeah. So the other thing was that this was Wednesday that this happened. Up until this, I had been using going for a run as an excuse to like kind of get out and like not think for a while. And couldn't do that anymore. And also could kind of barely walk down the stairs. But I was like determined not to be limping in front of my in-laws for like no reason other than pride, So that it was great. It was good. It was fun.
Love that.
Yeah. It was a really cute little town. It was called Watercolor, I think.
Oh, gorgeous.
And it's like people are biking everywhere. It's truly like very lovely. And there's like so many beaches and so many pools. And it was nice. It was a nice time, aside from my knee.
Yeah. And now, maybe it'll be ready by the time summer rolls around.
Don't count on it.
Honestly, probably the biggest sacrifice right now is the inability to sit like a queer person.
I can't even. I tried
can't
bringing
do what
this
I'm doing
leg
right now.
up. Well, I have this leg.
Oh, true.
We're mirrored right now.
Oh, wow, we are.
Yeah, look at that.
They can't tell the difference between us.
Well, give me your sweater. Maybe that'll do it.
There's enough for two. It's my big sweater.
It is your big sweater. Big arm sweater.
Nice.
Yeah.
My Thanksgiving was a little different. As
it
always.
usually is.
Yes. Not in Florida. Was in Nebraska, which then immediately iced over. So that was great.
Yeah.
Found out that I had taken out my ice scraper when we went to Canada, so I could make more room in my car for all the shit we were bringing. Found out while like kind of locked outside my parents' house when they were gone that my car was ice scraperless. Fortunately, could break into the garage and then my mom's car and was able to steal that.
Beanie.
Yeah.
Love it.
Parents are so funny because like if someone were to start just living in my house and I wasn't going to change any of my routines, like they'd have notes, right?
Yes,
So my parents aren't different. They just unfortunately were observed by me. So those first couple of days especially, really important to just kind of quietly watch and observe.
I love that.
You know how many of these like streaming platforms like Roku and stuff will just default to like basically a screensaver when you're not interacting with it?
Yes.
So the television did that one time on like Monday or Tuesday of break and had switched over to Fish. And I was reading a book and my dad
watched it like they were high. I can see it.
I was reading a book. My dad was like on his phone and my mom was like kind of reading the newspaper, kind of watching the TV. And at one point my mom goes, "Wow, those fish really are mesmerizing, huh?" And I like put my book down and I'm like, "Are we staring at a screensaver right now?" And then I immediately had to show them this clip from Family Guy, which is like, "Oh, on Thursdays, Lois and I take edibles and go to the aquarium." And Lois goes, "Peter, I'm so high right now." And then he goes, "Shh, don't ruin this for me." Greg and Teresa thought that was hilarious. And I was like, okay, did not think that was going to be a surprise hit of the season. So it was good. Sister lives in town, but obviously had to work most of the week. And then brother and sister-in-law stayed in South Carolina for this holiday. So I, more so than usual, got to be single child and realized about halfway through my trip that every time we went to the grocery store, I was essentially grocery shopping for myself to bring home to Denver, Colorado.
I love that, though. I love that.
I was like, oh, should we maybe get like 2 trays of charcuterie meat? Just to have options.
Yeah.
It has been so nice. Years ago, I began the tradition of bringing a cooler home with me. Mm-hmm. What? Oh, right. Okay, next one. I texted you this next one.
Did you?
I love to make observations around things that I know are sensitive areas in the family.
Like out loud or quietly? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Specifically, my dad gets a bar, right? Yes. Like a bar cabinet, essentially.
Okay.
A cabinet that he's allowed to store alcohol bottles and tumblers in.
Yes.
But because it's a flat service and my mom is of a certain age, it must always be decorated with something. Also, I mean, that's a given. But it must always also have a decoration. Yeah. Okay. Little pumpkin in the fall. We're gonna have a little Easter bunny there in the spring.
Cute.
For Christmas, several Christmas trees. Mm-hmm. In fact, so many Christmas trees that when we try to use the bar top for the thing it was for, which is to store alcohol bottles, we will have to find some new homes for the Christmas trees.
Oh, for Christmas trees. I thought Teresa was going to be like, no, they were there first.
A lot of, you would take out a bottle, you'd pour, you'd put it on the bar top, and then you'd walk back, and then it was like put back away again. And trust and believe that was not me putting it away.
No, why would you?
So yeah, no, I had a fun time. Got to eat all my favorite foods. And then finally a sister story. There's actually so many stories from, I'm sorry. They are getting better as the list goes on though. My sister has a dog who she cares a lot about. And I'm using my language specifically because I know who our audience is.
Did you see someone made the Pigeon and Prego logo?
Yes, and then put our audio over it.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh, click it. Yeah. Oh, click on. Oh, yeah. Oh,
that's
actually,
so upsetting.
It's ours, so we're actually allowed to play it on air.
Spotify being like copyright violation.
The photo's not ours, so I guess we won't like take ownership of that. But that's 100%.
It's so good. Voice. If you go to our Instagram and go to the photos that were tagged in, it's the top one.
Sister goes,
oh, I love it.
I just, every time I see pigeons, I think of the neighbor who ate them at the last apartment. No,
what?
Right, exactly. And so I say almost like that exact.
It's really
it's really
well cut.
Cute. It's very cute.
So my sister adopted a cat for 2 days and then was like, oh, I can't take care of this cat. My life's too busy. This dog can basically like walk itself. And so then, because she rescued the cat. It's not like she went to like an adoption.
No, that's just like a crazy, usually it's the exact opposite. Conclusion.
The cat distribution network grabs you.
Yeah.
So she gave it to a really dear friend who has like loved it since and taken care of it. But her dog Lucy, short for Lucilia, had apparently grown attached to it and was a little sad a couple of days afterwards. And my sister's like, it's okay. Lucy and I talk about it every single night and she's over it now. And there's just this like long silence at the dinner table of the four of us. And I go,
like,
we're talking about the dog, right?
And what did your sister say?
My sister's like, yeah, of course we're talking about Lucy. Like, we know what we're talking about right now. And it's like, right.
Yeah, we know what we're talking about right now.
And then later on that night after dinner, my parents were like, oh, season 2 of Landman has started. Grant, have you seen season 1 of Landman? And I went, what
the
is
hell
Landman?
Is Landman?
Right, exactly. Stars like Millie Bobby Brown or whatever.
Okay.
That's not the right name at all. You should know
I
that.
was like,
Billy Bob Ross, maybe, something like that. There's a lot. The biggest 3 names. It's someone. If you are watching Landman, you're screaming at me. Also, I'll say this. Episode 1 and 2 of Landman were phenomenal. Okay. I am highly interested the second I get a chance to breathe.
Yeah.
Going back and rewatching season 1 of Landman because obviously I didn't see it.
Okay.
But that's all to build up to this story.
Right.
Get your parents to try to describe the show they are watching. Not why do they like it. Don't ask for a review.
No.
Ask for a summary.
That's actually genius.
Because getting them both to talk about it, it was so clear what plot lines had resonated with them, what characters they really liked, and then inversely really didn't like.
Yeah.
You know, I found a lot about one of the kind of more minor bit characters, certainly not a plot driver, that one of my parents had some hard opinions on.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It was wonderful. I'm like, it's so good to hear a summary that hasn't been generated by ChatGPT. Like it's been forever since I've experienced that.
That's nice.
Yeah. So no, it was good overall. And then my last story from visiting my family, at least that I can share on main episode. Remember that book that I was reading?
The hockey. Yeah, the hockey rivalry.
The one that was like,
yeah,
I have
Heated
to.
Rivals or something?
Yeah. Part of book number 2 of the Game Changer
Yes,
series.
yes.
And I told you that I was reading it before the show came out.
Yes, and then you texted me something about the show coming out.
Literally the calendar reminder in my phone.
That it comes out. When does it come out?
It's out, babes.
Oh, it's out. Okay.
But I was reading the book, right?
Yeah.
Like at my parents' house,
Yeah.
right? Not like public library reading to the people,
No, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it's like we're not turning on any of the lights, right?
Yeah.
We're just eating like leftover turkey.
And reading, yeah.
Right. I'm going to sit on the couch, watch some football, and like read this book or whatever.
Yeah.
And my mom asked me, "Oh, what are you reading?" And I go, "It's just like a silly little rom-com."
This is her version of you asking her what the plot of her favorite show.
But I have to be all like, "Oh, like it's just like a silly little rom-com, and it's inconsequential." Meanwhile,
Is it a physical book though?
I'm physically holding a book.
So does it have the cover that has
Yes,
the like cute
and it's
drawings?
2 hockey players staring at each other. Not the OG cover, which is just 2 shirtless torsos.
I love it when romance novels have OG covers and then covers when they realize that no one wants that book.
The official, it's called a trade cover, right? Because it's easier, I think, to sell than literally a softcore hustler magazine cover.
Yeah.
So my mom, I think, can understand some of the like context and like subtext of like, oh, it's just like a silly little rom-com.
She's like, romance, got it.
Like the 2 characters are, for lack of are coitusing each other. Like on the if it was on Patreon, I would have said something so much different. But like mom was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Nothing.
Yeah.
What's up?" Right? It's like, how's it going? You guys are here still? I haven't been in this room for like an hour.
While.
Where am
That's
I?
crazy.
Oh, look, Pitt's winning, right? Or like whatever. And my mom was like, "Oh, okay, well, like have fun." But my dad, who's retired and I love him, was like, "Well, talk to me about it. What's going on in the book?"
Oh, no.
It's like, great, no. So instead, I was just like, and I'll do this with my students too. I was like, well, sometimes when I come home from work, like it's been such a mentally challenging day. Like it's been good.
Easy.
I need something easy to read, right?
Yeah.
And like it's kind of nice to like it, right? And I just kind of did like a 5 minutes on that, on the joys of fiction, and that seemed to have gotten me out of answering any really
Chicken
specific.
soup for the soul.
Yes, exactly. No, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
But then this really unfortunate thing happened. I finished the book.
Oh.
And I was left ravenous
For something else. Yeah.
for more.
Yeah.
Because I then found out immediately that there's a sequel. And I was like, oh,
I need
so
that
easy.
right now in my face, in my ears.
If I work my fucking ass off 13 months out of the year, 6 days a week for half the year, right? It is to afford me one privilege, and that is to buy smut whenever I want. And so I like, sequel sold out on Amazon. Oh, that's weird. Okay, well, I'm going to pick it up at Barnes & Noble. Oh. But I'm
Sold out at Barnes & Noble.
I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska. Let's change store locations to the hellscape that is Denver. Oh, okay. Okay. Publishers website. What do you back order? What do you mean? Okay.
Can you not buy it on Kindle?
With a book like this, I wouldn't.
It has to be true.
Right. And also, like, I don't own a Kindle.
You can download an app on your phone. I know, but it's so much easier.
I'm not going to do
You're so
that.
annoying sometimes.
Not gonna
This
do
has to be weaponized incompetence. This has to be.
There isn't going to be a pool, you dumb slut. There isn't even going to be a house. Surely you've heard that on TikTok.
I haven't. All I know is you just called me dumb slut. It's so messed up of you.
I can find it on ebook, which I don't own an ebook, won't download an app for, and I want to physically hold the book because I want to be able to pause for a second. I can get it on audiobook.
Yeah, audio.
I need to hear it in my head first because I've read the first one.
Oh.
If the voice now changes,
It'll
it
fuck
changes
everything
the
up, yeah.
characters completely. And so I'm telling my parents that, and my mom's like, well, you could just be patient and wait for them to back.
Okay, that's so fucked
Right,
up of her to say.
And you get it.
Yeah, I do. I will read a series until I've like caught up to where the author is, and I will immediately go and pre-order the book so that I don't even have to think about it. It just shows up at my door when
Right.
it comes out. Yeah,
Right.
I feel that.
So she's like, you could just be patient.
No.
I was like, computer open. And I'm like, eBay. I'm like, someone has to be reselling a copy they owned for like hundreds of dollars. They are.
Oh
for
my
like
God.
hundreds of dollars, you can get it right now. Yeah.
Probably because of the show, I'm
Yes.
assuming. Yeah.
And then I was like, fine. I won't read the sequel until it's back in stock. I'll read one of the other 5 books in the series. Well, 4 books. It's a 6-book series. The sequel is the last book. So they're book 2 and 6. And then 1, 3, 4, and 5 are different. I don't think the
That's
author...
a fucked up order.
Correct. I don't think the author expected book number 2 to become so massively popular.
Okay.
And like went back and like, it might be fan service, but I've heard incredible things about book number 2. Every single book in the series is sold out. I cannot find a physical copy of anything anywhere. And then a friend was like, oh, well, have you tried Petals and Pages? Denver's local queer
Of
library.
course.
I was like, of course
we tried that.
What do you think? I still live in Lincoln, Nebraska?
Yeah.
Of course I went to my local independently owned bookstore. I even went to Tattered Cover.
That's true. Wow.
I'm down so bad.
So you can't even like pre-order from the back order or something?
I have not been able to read anything, really, because what I want to read is I deserved more time. My favorite / least favorite trope. So that's kind of where my life is right now. Fortunately, Heated Rivalry is coming out like as a series.
Yeah.
And I get it. You and I are different, but
Yeah.
right now I understand the joy of a hyperfixation.
Yes. Thank you.
We're stupid
I feel
sluts
seen.
together.
I feel validated. I do.
Good.
I do have a little. Well, I got into a new romance book
Ooh.
or something. It's an actual book this time.
Book or something?
Book or something. I don't know. I just download because I have Kindle Unlimited. Fun fact: if you have Kindle Unlimited, I know we all hate Amazon. If you read enough, you can actually cost Amazon money. So that's the goal I strive for. I think it's actually something really achievable, like 12 books a year or something
that's
like that. It's a crazy. It's like $12 a month, and you just get whatever books are on there. Yeah. So was it a little complicated or something was what I just read. It was cute. It was another one I would like, no thoughts, just vibes.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good.
It's so predictable. At no point am I actually anxious about the relationship. I'm like, kiss.
Yeah. No, kiss. No, kiss. Yeah. They all just make some really stupid decisions. And now I'm reading one of my like not books. It's a hockey book. And I just feel really, I think my phone was listening to you or like reading our
Probably.
texts or something because it started recommending me a lot of hockey content.
I think that genre is also just having
It's really
a
big,
moment
yeah.
right now. Listen, I'm so grateful that there are quality video editors out there still, because the edits from just the first 2 episodes, and this is really the first time too that I have read the original source material before the movie
show,
comes
yeah.
out. So I have just this incredible God complex about all of it.
Well, we did that for Hunger Games.
Yes, but like the most
this-
recent
okay,
one.
okay,
Like
okay.
even the originals, but
Yeah.
they're slow releasing the episodes. So they did the first 2 and now they're going to do like, I think 1 a week moving forward.
Okay.
1 drops tomorrow, maybe tonight at midnight. Maybe I'm watching it when I get home. We'll find out. I don't know. I'm not God.
So a little treat. I can't answer these questions.
And that is not a crime. Anyways, so dumb. I'm like, you guys are making magic with just 2 episodes of what is essentially set up.
Yes.
Like I'm not emotional. I just swallowed my own tongue. The things you're about to see with your eyes. And do you know who's with me for this entire ride?
Who?
Hayden Brand.
I can see that. Yeah, absolutely.
Who-
She loves a good romance book.
Yes,
yeah, we've
she
read all.
does.
She's a Sarah J. Maas girl.
Yeah. She watched actually the HBO series. Like she watched the first 2 episodes because it's on HBO before even I did. And
Oh.
she is now who I channel all of this towards.
Yeah,
Because I
that's fair.
trust her.
Yeah. Speaking of shows that we're watching, I'm embarrassed because I am such a musical girly, and occasionally okay, first embarrassing thing, not really embarrassing. I've mentioned that Grant and like our friends are going to go see Hadestown in May. It is November, We're seeing it in May, and I am so like excited all the time about it that I started making a notes app with like links to things that I need to show Grant and Maddie after they watch it. Because I don't want to spoil anything for them, but I'm like, no, you have to see what the original guy looked like and sounded like. Do you see how crazy this is? And like just like silly little memes and stuff. So I started doing that a while ago. Also, I came across Has Been Hotel.
Okay.
It's an animated series, and it's like, it's been around for a while.
There's a little ghost boy, right, on it? Never mind.
Ghost boy.
It's okay. Go ahead. Keep going.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's like, I don't want to say that it's cringy, but there are moments where I'm like, oh, but like, it's just like, it's something I would have loved in middle school, but I still love it now.
Sure.
And there's also just like really, really adult topics in it that are like speaking to our society. And also, the thing that really sold me is I've like heard some of the songs from Has Been Hotel previously on like TikTok and whatever it's used. They have like a lot of trending audios. It's a TV show, and there's like maybe like 1 or 2 songs per episode.
Okay.
It's on Prime. But my dear sweet baby Christian Borle and Jeremy Jordan are in it, as well as Erica something. She was the original voice of Katie in the Mean Girls musical. Are in it, and they're all like, they just did a live performance of it, and I'm like dying over it a little bit. So I binge watched like all 2 seasons like last weekend, so I'm productive.
But that's what break is for, That is what break is for.
And I also got back into woobles, the little crochet animals.
I love that.
Yeah.
Is that what Christmas gifts are this year? Are they woobles?
I don't know. I found out as Casey and I were driving from the airport to our Airbnb for Thanksgiving that the little dinosaur wooble I made for my little nephew, he loves it and carries it around with him all the time.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh my God, I was going to bring another wooble, but I ended up not having room. And he was like, oh, you should. And so I Amazon primed another wooble to the house and made it for him over like on Thanksgiving Day. And he was so excited about it. It was very cute.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
I am over halfway done with my Christmas shopping.
Oh,
Friends, it's December 4th.
We've planned one gift. That's
Okay.
it. That's bad.
Here's the thing. Do you remember December last year?
Yeah.
Remember how like kind of the week before it was like a little tough for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Right. So that's okay, and those moments can happen, but
Mm-hmm.
then we also have to like be a little better sometimes. And so that left such a strong impression in my brain that October 15th rolled around and it was like, we're behind. We need to start buying these gifts now.
Now.
Which meant we need to start asking your family now what they want.
Yes, correct.
And then you need to just purchase it on Amazon or wherever is selling, right? Like, I'm not like, this is not like
Especially
an
over
endorsement
Black
of it.
Friday.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's like in years past, like I would find it on Amazon. I would feel weird about buying it on Amazon. I
try
would
and
then
find it on, like,
forget
Etsy or
about
whatever,
it, right?
yeah.
And then I'm not getting it at all, or I'm getting it a lot more
We're
expensive.
living in a capitalist hellscape, y'all.
Yes. So I feel very good about where we're at right now, but I'm now down to trying a Christmas gift for my father.
Oh, that's tough. That's
Yeah.
a hard one.
My dad has one hobby, and it is collecting vinyl records. I've never heard him
that's
play
cool.
one ever.
Yeah.
But we have like a stereo and whatnot, and I was like, "Are there certain records you want me to get you?" And he was
Yeah.
like, "Well, it's more about like the chase, like the look." And I go, "I understand. Like a hunter doesn't want deer meat for Christmas."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yes, exactly." And I was like, "Well, then what do you want?" I'm trying to respect your truth, but you need to give me $80 to $120 worth of ideas.
Yes. $100 worth of ideas. My dad every year between Christmas and his birthday just always alternated between new shoes, new belt, gift card to Barnes and Noble.
That is unfortunately my exact life.
Yeah.
I live in a season of savings now 24/7. And that Christmas is, I asked for socks from my sister, so I'm sure I'm going to get a 1999 thrown away TV. But I asked for socks from REI. In fact, can I just read to you the message from my sister? Because I love her so much. I don't think she will ever hear this, but if she does, Allie, you know I love you. Okay. Honey, do you have any gift ideas? And then I go, I need to do a better job organizing my list, and then I can share that out tomorrow. Griffin asked too. And then I didn't get to it within 24 hours.
Oh, and then
and so then she emphasized the message, which like annoyed me, but I was like, oh, she must really be trying this year. And so I go, okay, I could use like a new cocktail shaker because mine's just like a free one that came with a bottle of vodka one time. I could also use like some bitters, and then these specific REI socks are great. Linked it in, sent. Or even given a great couch blanket. I'm like,
yeah, cute.
4 wonderful ideas
Yeah.
any adult would literally love to get for Christmas.
Truly.
Appreciate the effort. As usual, all your gifts will be fantastic and yet more mysterious than the deep blue ocean. Seriously, though, each year, when thinking of what your very loving, very dedicated sister maybe come up with, isn't it invigorating? Why would you ask me for a list? And then why would you follow up with the, I still need that list within 24 hours?
If you're just going to surprise me anyway.
To be like, haha, I would never get you any of this.
But what's the fun? And she was hoping you would ask for like a broken computer.
Yes. And like the thing is like, you know, I'm going to ask for shoes for my brother and I'm going to send him a link. But like my brother and I kind of have similar taste in shoes, right? So I asked my sister for a couch blanket or a cocktail shaker. Yeah. I'm like, I can trust you with those things. I do not need 125 3-pound trash bags. That's both too many and too small.
Teleprompter. The teleprompter still gets me every day.
L teleprompter. Its entire instructions are in Spanish. I love this season.
I have one last thing.
Great.
Okay, so Spotify Wrapped came out yesterday or 2 days ago or fucking whatever. And I know we're like mad at Spotify, and I get that because they're promoting or allowing ICE ads. I counter you with I also hate Spotify for doing that, and they should absolutely stop. Apple and YouTube are not any better as corporations. So where get music from then?
Right.
That has all my music and is also cheap, you know? So that's where we're at. Anyway, so I did my Spotify Wrapped. Do you want to, did you see it? I think you did.
Your Spotify Wrapped? I saw a lot of people's Spotify Wrapped.
Incredible.
You forget, it was the person that responds to our Instagram messages.
Yeah.
Spotify Wrapped Day is D-Day for me. More on that in the Patreon. I have like a whole little thing in the Patreon.
Do you want to guess what my top albums were?
Yes.
Okay.
Death Becomes Her.
Absolutely.
Hades Town.
Absolutely. 1 and 2 right there.
Devil Wears Prada musical.
No.
Okay.
That one happened too late in the year, I think.
Sure.
To catch up.
I feel like Hamilton is always floating beneath the surface.
Hamilton is number 5.
Okay. Honestly, to have
it could have been anywhere.
Listen, get me on Steve Harvey's Family Feud, okay? I'm reading.
You would be winning right now.
Says.
Okay, so it's.
What are the other 2? Yeah.
It's Death Becomes Her, Hades Town, Wicked.
Boom. Oh, right. Duh.
Wicked, Noah Khan Stick Season, and then Hamilton. It's literally 4 musicals and Noah Khan. To which one of my dear friends from high school said, "Throw Noah Khan in there to remind you have depression." Bitch!
I don't know who it was, but I'm so sure that was Maddie, and I love her so much for it.
It was my friend Cam, who lives in Chicago.
Okay, I have 2.5 things for my Spotify Wrapped. Again, more in the Patreon because I want to really get into it. A couple of things. First, did it give you your age?
Yeah, I was 26, I think.
Okay, how old do you think I am?
Like 13.
I'm 20, which like just makes a lot of sense, you know. Like I think that makes a lot of sense. All of the lesbians in my speech and debate program, 77.
My neighbor's 100, literally 100.
So they're like jazz.
Yeah.
That, and you know how when you really listen to an artist, Spotify will tell you where you land in the percentage of things.
Yes.
So Dhruv, you saw this, right?
Yeah, I did.
Guys, Dhruv is a South Asian queer singer who lives in London and I think now maybe in New York, but like kind of British national. Yeah. I saw him back February, loved his stuff.
Has shouted him out multiple times on the podcast.
Globally, I am his 641st most frequent listener.
It's like so high up,
digits.
they couldn't even like make a percentage. They were like, it's 0.000. Oh shit, we should just give him a number.
Because Spotify Wrapped is my D-Day, especially when it falls on also the Wednesday I have to post visuals. Like I hadn't gotten to it until like I'm in the last period and I have several of my seniors there who they're all lovely and I love them. And then my platform captain sits down, right? And they're like, what's your Spotify Wrap say? And I go, oh, I haven't even seen it yet. They're like, well, we got to do it together. So like I hold it up like kindergarten teacher style and we go through it and then we hit this and it like, it scrolls and it gets, and it kind of kept scrolling. And at one point I heard from, as I'm watching the screen, a kid behind me goes, oh. to the point where I was like, oh, I overshot it. Oh, I overshot it a little bit.
I overdid it.
Okay, but my top 5. Do you want to guess? Do you remember seeing mine?
I saw it, but
So many on that
CMAT
day.
was number 5.
Yes.
Drew was number 1.
Correct.
Oh gosh, I can remember her name and see her face, but I can't. I don't remember her name.
Starts with an O.
Olivia
Dean.
Yep, there it is. And I don't remember the other.
She was number 2. If her album had come out sooner in the year, she might have displaced
number
Dhruv.
1, yeah.
Dhruv is my I'm Walking Around the Park album, and so that you can really rack up some miles around like some of
I'm
the
still
parks here in
waiting to
Denver.
find someone who has a higher minutes listened count than I do, and always I end up finding them immediately after I express that I think I'm the best.
Yeah.
And it disheartens me, but I am 2 times more music listened to than Grant.
Well, you work in an office
Yeah,
where
I
men
can just
talk and you don't
listen.
want to listen to them.
Absolutely.
And I work in a space where I want no noise at all. So my top 5, Dhruv, okay, gay man. Olivia Dean. Dean.
Yeah. Yes.
Khaled, black man,
Right.
black gay man too. His newest album, After the Sun Goes Down, great Jim Bob. Number 4, Ryan Beatty, gay man. Number 5, CMAT, Irish lady. Okay, is there a cooler person out there? Because if so, I'd like to meet them. We need to fight.
Hi. Cooler than you, bitch.
Oh, okay.
I can spit verses.
All I'm saying is I saw a lot of those pop up on my nerd students playlists, and I had to talk
And
to them.
that's why I love them.
And I had to talk to them about every single one of those people except Olivia Dean, who they had already learned about from me.
Yeah, I really got into musicals this year. This is the first time I think this is the first time a musical has genuinely even shown up on my Spotify Wrapped. Like, that's how crazy it's been.
You're over here like, have I said too much? There's nothing more I can say to you.
One word more.
Another musical, another hyperfixation. Another
Yes.
lyric to learn every word to.
Yes. Deeply. I'm actually pretty sure one of my top songs was Let's Run Away Together from Death Becomes Her, and I'm pretty sure it's like just originates from that one day I was trying to learn that monologue in the middle because I just kept restarting it.
Are we gonna ever read stories from the listeners? We're like 45 minutes in, have to be, right?
Yeah, that seems fine.
Good. All right. Well, let's go ahead and find some stories.
Yeah. This is from longtime listener, longtime writer,
Friend of the pod.
friend of the pod,
Friend of the pod.
reality winner. Grant read this one the last time we recorded it.
This is good to know. I'm finding out live on air what our policy is around the stories that we are reading for the first time
Yeah,
again.
we're just breaking the fourth wall
Okay,
right now.
cool.
But we thought this was fun. This is a short one, but okay. I am livid with a T at the end, friends. I come home from coaching the early morning class around 6:40 in the morning. Today I come in excited that there's still coffee. No, I hear you.
To come home at 6:40, my alarm still has not gone off at that hour.
Yeah.
And I'm God's strongest warrior. So imagine.
I used to work out at 6:15 every morning. I don't know how I did that.
No.
That was the healthiest I'd ever been in my life, and now I'm trying. I'm
Back
like,
when you had 2 good meniscuses.
yeah. No, I had already lost one by then. That was when I went to a workout class with a knee brace for
Good.
for a while. Yeah.
Don't let anything shame you.
I refuse. Okay. I'm excited that there's still coffee and enjoy being hugged by my cat while I drink the H-E-B pumpkin spice roast with brown sugar and half. Parentheses, it keeps my Starbucks boycott strong in the season of the PSL.
Half and half? That's so rich.
Yeah, Grant's dairy intolerance just had a heart attack.
It's actually also increasingly a verbal intolerance. Like I could and to each their own, but that's candy. That's a peppermint mocha.
One time, I may have been a little toasted.
May have.
And I maybe had cereal with half and half. And I didn't realize until the next morning when I came out and saw that the half and half and the milk were right next to each other and in very similar cartons.
And everyone is listening right now is like, and this freak put the half and half in first.
No, this was during my time of trying the other way. I put the cereal in first.
Excellent. Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway. Okay, so the cat, Lex, the cat that's hugging reality, is a piece of shit. I noticed a smaller coffee mug than the ones we use, being XL coffee mug type people. I turn it around, and it's my Alan Rickman mug that my mom got when I was in my high school Alan Rickman infatuation stage. I haven't seen this mug in years, so you know it's been up on the top shelf of the coffee mug cabinet. Parentheses, who doesn't have an entire cabinet dedicated to a 30-year strong mug hoarding situation?
My father 100% does. Did you know there's certain mugs that I'm not allowed to use when I go home? But don't worry, my dad doesn't have autism.
All the spoons must be in the right place in their display case.
I reached for a cup and Dad goes, nope, not that one. And I go, what are you talking about? All these mugs are exactly the same. He goes, no, the inside of that one is green and the other insides are blue. And I always have the green one on Sundays. Today's Saturday.
Oh, yeah, he's on the spectrum.
Yeah, 100%. And Mom was like, you can use whatever cup you want. And Dad was like, yeah, just not the green one. And I have like oppositional defiance disorder.
Yeah, so you want to use the green one.
Right, but it takes a backseat to just stirring whatever pot I have now landed myself into. Like, what are our thoughts on the ones that has the gray color on the inside, Dad? Can I use this mug? And then throughout the rest of the week, is this mug okay? It looks like it's Snoopy from the Peanuts. Is this
that
one
okay?
Is this a Monday mug? I don't know what's
good
going
for
on.
You?
Right, exactly.
Okay. So she has this thing, and so because she had put the Alan Rickman mug on that top shelf, she thought it was safe. Background: my partner Eddie has been charged, tried, and convicted repeatedly in the past for coffee mug abuse.
It's crazy for her to say it that
Yeah.
way.
I have seen coffee mugs live in the garage for months. Good mugs, extra large mugs that deserve better. I even got him his own signature raccoon mug that says, quote, every day is trash day. And it broke, by the way. When he left it out and one of the animals knocked it off the table and it's been glued back together. He's also been caught using my super demure, super mindful, super cutesy Pusheen unicorn mug that my sister gave me.
What?
Pusheen is it's a little cat character.
Thank you. Thank you for helping
character.
me.
Yep, you're welcome. And he's used my Davy Crockett Alamo mug, which is a replacement of a mug given to me as a gift. I sent the original to a friend in Germany and then had special ordered the replacement from the Alamo gift shop. Parentheses, I have a special spoon collection too, but that's Patreon content. Oh, reality.
Can I also say, I'm sorry, friends, this is not me like faking a laugh or like putting on airs. Because we record so late at night and we live such big, full lives, I legitimately have forgotten so many details about these stories.
Yes, I remember big moments.
You were like, we read Reality's mug story. And I was like, right. Forgot about all of this.
The Alan Rickman mug is irreplaceable. Eddie would never dare to use my Jack Skellington mug like this, so I don't know how he's dug through the top shelf and got the tiniest mug we have. So I started a fight. In conclusion, and the conclusion was me roaring across the table, stop touching my emotional support mugs. Anyway, I have become...
Do not talk to me or my mugs ever again.
Anyway, I've become my mother. A prolific hoarder of knickknacks. Pictures of the aforementioned mugs attached. While gathering my mugs, the victim mug rescued from the garage, a blue speckled camping mug. This one is again lost. I started another fight. Yes, I used portrait mode to hide my filthy depression kitchen. Is there another nameless dirty mug that Eddie abandoned in the kitchen table in the background? Yep. Best read.
See, when people talk about their marriages, it's usually like, and then I couldn't have Chinese food because they don't like Chinese food, and I was like, I would be institutionalized.
Die, yeah.
But then
That's
I hear
mugs.
stuff like these, and I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know,
Starting fights.
only when I'm right. Like the Alamo mug that
so
she
funny.
has to specially order
Order.
from the Alamo
Alamo.
gift shop is such a great detail you feel bad about forgetting about it.
That's fair. Yeah.
All right. Next one is, as I open it up.
And we pulled some new stories. So
Yes.
just so you guys know.
Mainly because we could not find
Could not
one
figure
of the
out
stories
which
again.
ones we had done, and I wasn't going to go back and listen to the audio.
See, what happens is Maya will be like, okay, Grant, write these down in your notes app. Here are the names of the people who we did, and that's how we keep track. But she reads it out loud, and I just spell it based off how I heard it.
Yes.
And I was really off on one of
And sometimes you guys' email is not your name,
No.
which is deeply confusing.
Actually, very regularly that is the case.
Just kidding. We still love you. You do you.
You do you, but it does feel like you were trying to hide your identity from us as you then tell us, like, essentially the social equivalent of your social security number.
And just to be prepared, if that's the case, that if we ever have to re-record again, we might not find you. And we'll give up in about 5 minutes.
Use it or maybe lose it. It depends on what kind of emails we've
Yep.
gotten.
And we also got a lot of emails over Thanksgiving. People were writing.
Yes. Listener story. Caught
Yes.
red-handed.
Okay.
My name, Laura.
Okay.
My pronouns, she, her. Use them if you choose to share.
I thought she was going to say use them or lose them.
And then they go to somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. As the prophecy foretold. Okay.
Maya and Grant.
Yes.
I'd like to begin by saying that I never expected I'd lead with Maya in the great Maya and Grant or Grant and Maya debate.
Okay, what
but
the fuck?
Life takes some mysterious turn.
I'm dying to know what that turn is.
Good. Truth is, I have been a staunch Grant and Maya-er since Maya referred to the lead singer of 303 as looking really old and then doubled down on that statement.
He does.
I'm no 303 fan, but I grew up with said lead singer who actually looks pretty darn good for our age. He just went gray early. Have we learned nothing from Grant? Some men's hairs changes earlier than others.
I hope this is the whole email. It's me. I've been caught red-handed.
And yet, here we are. I choose Maya first. Why? I need you to know I have not read the rest of this paragraph.
You just got to hear.
Yes, I read this part and I was like, this is already such good. Like, this is gold. This is content gold.
Yeah.
I've uncharted waters.
Yeah.
I've then SAT strategy read the beginning sentence of every
several other
paragraph.
paragraphs.
Yes. Maya first. Why? Because this is the kind of story that can scare boys off.
I feel so seen
Yeah.
right now, Laura. And fair enough.
That's right. This story involves the magical medical mystery known as menstruation.
Hey.
Love the alliteration there.
It's beautiful.
Periods can be terrifying to people that don't have them.
True.
So I'm banking on Maya and her uterus having abilities.
I love that Grant's reading
to
this.
Advocate to at least read the rest of the story. I think
I
you'll
love that
like
it's the
it.
gay man that's reading this story.
Right, because here's the thing, Laura. I think I can call you Laura because you said call you Laura. I pull that shit at parties all the time. It's like one of my go-to little bits. Kills every time.
Jimothy.
I'm going to call you
Can I call
Jimothy.
you Jim? Yeah.
Here's the thing, Laura. You were right. You were strategic. This is a story about menstruation. I should send it to the woman. But you started off it with like internal gossip about us, and thus the gay read it.
Yeah. That you can't really count on who's going to read what, honestly.
I wish sometimes we would just release like a 90-second clip of what it looks like when we select these stories. It is like the most conference room business shooter glasses.
It's like,
Okay,
who are you reading?
Let's get it on the board.
You're reading Sarah. Okay,
Laura
I'll
with an
read
H.
Mike. Yeah, yeah. Okay, and
like the
then
draft.
Grant starts giggling, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we're
This is
reading
the
this."
one.
Yeah.
This is it. Huzzah! You made it past the word menstruation.
Yay!
This feels like it was written for me again. Excellent work. And I know with a topic like red-handed, you think you know where this is going. You kind of do. And also, stay tuned.
Okay.
Before we get any further, we have to cover one of the basics about periods so we can all join in the laughter here, because this is a funny story.
Thank you for educating Grant about menstruation. This is that you're actually serving the public good.
That's not fair. 7% of our listeners also don't have uteruses, and an unknown number of the non-binary ones don't either. We could have as many as 11% of our listeners not knowing about this topic.
You're right, and that is a crucial demographic.
Okay, periods are bloody messes and kind of gross. Yes, agreed. Bodies are gross. We all have them. They do weird things at inopportune times, and some bodies happen to ooze out blood for a week every month.
Yep.
What a party trick. The thing is, for bodies that I'm doing an incredible cold read, by the way.
Yeah.
For bodies that cannot perform this trick, periods seem kind of off limits, off-putting, and generally unfunny. For this story, I need you to remember that period blood is not like other blood. Yes, periods hurt, but the blood itself is not alarmingly problematic or a sign of anything going wrong. Think of it like a runny nose. Messy, inconvenient, and occasionally surprising. Women, don't come for me. I know periods are not like runny noses in many, many ways. But I am simplifying for any listening man brain that is stuck on period.
It's just Casey editing this upstairs.
It's exclusively women and then Casey and I. And now to our story. It's summertime 2022. Your girl, based in Denver, is about to go on a solo lady road trip across the Southwest. It's been.
Are you in the midst of a mental health crisis? I feel like I need to ask.
You don't need to ask. She's obviously in the midst of a mental health crisis.
Don't take that personally if you're not, Laura. It's just a funny little bit.
I've just also empirically never gone on a solo road trip to the Southwest
when you're not in
life
a
was
mental
good.
All right,
I've never looked at my life in Denver and been like, I better escape from this good time and
okay, some people are just like that.
process.
Maddie went to Europe by herself.
That's not the American Southwest.
I know, but it's still like a trip.
Listen, I once had such a bad kind of moment in my life. I came back with several pots from the Navajo reservation. That's how deep into the Southwest
my God.
I got. They're gorgeous pots.
Yeah, I guarantee it.
Not something I usually collect though.
No, not at all. It sounds like a very your dad thing to do.
I have a whole kind of like now Southwest America kind of corner in my house.
I have noticed that.
It's been a rough year, and I'm ready for the open road, the desert, and a week of not talking to anyone I don't want to.
Yeah, I get that.
Of reading this like a recipe for spring 2022.
2020. Oh,
yeah.
Right. In the past.
Right. Breakup. Thanks.
I thought you were talking about plans for the future.
No, I'm kidding. The plan is to hit my favorite hot springs in northern New Mexico, as you should, on day one.
Yeah.
Head to Albuquerque for day 2 to catch up with an old friend, and then camp my way around New Mexico, Arizona, and Colorado for the rest of the week. Again, being a woman is inconvenient, and I've got the old flow.
Yep.
Luckily, I've been bleeding for 5 days by the time, I'm sorry, that's horrific, by the time I leave.
Grow up.
But just like, do you want to bleed for 5 days?
No, I don't want to. But
Right.
I
So
do.
what would you describe
And 5
that?
days is also short.
Okay.
5 days is a very short period.
Which means I've passed the worst of it.
Sometimes it depends on the body.
Am I in the trickle zone and should hopefully be done bleeding by camping time? I overpack my car with everything I might need for a week alone. Obviously rearranging things at the last minute to have my emergency wet wipes in the front passenger seat so I can clean my hands after I eat
Oh, no.
So I can clean my hands after I eat half a bag of potato chips within the first 45 minutes of the trip because I know myself. And hit the road. I stop at the gas station about a mile from my house to top up and get ice for the cooler. No judgment for non-Yeti owning Coloradans, please. As I get the cooler set to have the right snacks accessible when I inevitably try to reach into the back seat while driving at highway speeds in the mountains, I feel a little gush.
No. Oh, it's the worst.
Another fun period fact. Sometimes you can feel a small shift of blood. Not always. And what's extra weird is that feeling doesn't indicate a particularly heavy bleed. It is just bodies being weird again. I'm actually legitimately learning things right now. I've dropped my like charismatic voice, and I'm like, and then the mitochondria produces
it's
power
the
for the cell.
powerhouse of the cell.
I'm a menstrual cup girly, so I don't think twice about the little feeling. Those things suction in, and I don't usually have any leakage issues. I know I almost lost you at leakage. Runny nose. It's like a runny nose.
You really are catering to these men. Good job. Good job. Because I would have just. Well, yeah, you never know. I would.
It's August. That Colorado sun is beating down on me, and I'm cruising down 285. Good highway. Well, it is. It's really pretty.
Yeah, it is.
Goes straight through Conifer. I'm getting old.
Yeah, you are.
I'm singing to the radio and sweating in the driver's seat. My goal is to make it 3 hours to Salida before I take a pee break. Also, what a fun little minefield of how do you say these Colorado towns? Do you say Salida?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's another town called Sedalia or something, and that always messes me up.
In spite of my teeny tiny bladder, I make it. I pull into the gas station, and even if I don't need it yet, I'm going to fill up on gas because I was raised by Midwesterners, which means I legally have to buy something if I use a business's bathroom. I go to swipe my card, and the screen is blinking that I need to go inside to pay. I head in. That's crazy. I would have driven away.
Yeah, I would have found another gas station.
Whenever it says, please see cashier, it's like, I would rather be stranded than do this right now. Why is it so embarrassing?
I don't know. One time I did pay with cash, though, because I had it was when I was on a different road trip, and my aunt had given me cash to, like, pay for stuff, and so I paid with cash for gas. Craziest, like, it just felt so weird. Like, this doesn't feel like it should work.
It's illegal. This
yeah,
feels
like
a
I
drug
give you
trade.
$20 and then I just walk away and then can pump gas. That's wild.
Back when I worked at the discount grocery store in high school, that's what I would do. $20 in gas would get me going until the next time I needed $20 in gas.
Yeah. Yep. Good job.
Thanks. I head in and get in line, doing that little dance since I do, in fact, need to pee. I pay for my gas, get to the pump, get the pump started, and beeline for the bathroom. This is not my first rodeo at this gas station. I know the bathroom is a single stall sitch, separated by gender, on the outside of the building. I walk up, and there is a man in his 40s blocking the men's room door. I try to open the women's room, and it is locked.
Oh, no.
I ask him if he is waiting. I don't care what gender is on the door. Toilets are for peeing in.
True.
And he tells me his daughter is in there, and he's blocking the door so no one knocks because she's embarrassed. Oh, good guy.
That is good.
Then he tells me to try pushing the door in the women's room instead of pulling. So he's like blocking the door
for
the
his
men's,
daughter. Yeah.
for his daughter. Apparently, Mr. Dad is better than me at doors, and I'm not sure, and I'm not much of a pro at this whole bathroom thing as I thought, because the door is a push, not a pull.
I've been there, though. You're so, like, panicked because you need to pee so bad that you, like, can't read anymore, you know?
How do I get in? I walk into the bathroom, pull my shorts down, and I'm immediately confused. There is blood everywhere. My underwear is soaked. I thought I'd been sitting in sweat. Nope, it's blood. My thighs are streaked. I look at my jean shorts.
You've been walking around like this.
There is a dinner plate sized blood stain covering the entire ass of my jeans. Please remember, I just stood in line inside the gas station. This had never happened to me before and hasn't since. My first thought is, I must not have put in my menstrual cup. I check. It's there. I remove it. And when I tell you I was caught red-handed,
Oh my God.
my friends, my arm looked like I just assisted in the birth of a cow. Because you actually have to reach in.
Oh my God.
Remember how I said the cup suctions up in there?
Yeah.
Turns out I had not been leaking. I had been overflowing.
That's why I can't use menstrual cups, because I don't know. I haven't mathed out when my heaviest flow is, and it would do this.
Turns out I had not been leaking. I had been overflowing, and I've just broken the seal.
Yep.
Blood pours out of me and across the floor of the gas station bathroom. There I am.
They're going to report a murder after you leave.
They are. Blood soaked to the elbow, holding a Diva cup filled with blood. Bloody shorts around my blood-stained thighs, standing over a shallow blood puddle. The funny kind, not the scary kind, remember?
Remember? It's like a nosebleed.
Sniff, sniff, sniffle, sniffle. I know all I can do is take things one step at a time. Great job not to panic.
At a certain, there's nothing more humiliating than like sitting over a public restroom as you like try and take out a tampon or put a tampon in, and you suddenly realize you have no pad or no second tampon to put in after you take it out, and you're just like, do I stay here forever? Like, what do I do now?
Here's the thing. I've obviously never had that experience before.
That's crazy.
The only thing I think I could even kind of get close to it, and you'll know if you've reached this age or not. One time, years ago, alone at home, I feel a little gurgle in my stomach. I'm just
I
watching.
guarantee you, I've never felt this.
I'm just watching a movie. I just have to toot a little. Just a little fart.
Explosive diarrhea.
And not a lot. Not like the pants are heavier kind of situation. But that is, I imagine, the only way. Yeah.
Laura, very similar thing happened to me like not that long ago. I have like really, really heavy flow when I'm not on anything, like no birth control or whatever. And I was taking a break between birth control and getting my IUD. And I was sitting on the white couch in our front room, and I was sitting there and I was reading, and I felt that like little trickle thing, but didn't think anything of it because I was wearing a pad and a tampon.
Whoa.
Like heavy duty on both, because that's how heavy my flow gets sometimes. And I was like, it's all good. It's all covered. I stand up and it's the same thing. Like my entire ass was soaked in blood. That like an entire couch cushion size puddle of like blood stain on that couch. And I was like actively dripping blood. I was like in my pajama shorts. And that one took a while to clean. I had to like start working on like cleaning it and then tell Casey because I was worried he was going to like flip out. But yeah, isn't that awful? It's so fun. It's so great.
Where am I? Right. Okay. I know all I can do is take things one step at a time. So I take my shirts and my underwear fully off and set them on the floor outside of the blood puddle. They already weren't clean, y'all. Like, do not come for me. My brain actually had kind of gone there for a second, so I hear that. I wash my hands and arm in the sink and try to wash off my thighs. This isn't a fancy bathroom, though, and there are no paper towels.
No.
And there is a single-ply gas station toilet paper. One cannot wet single-ply toilet paper
So true.
and use it to wipe anything off. We know this. I try anyway. I am now half naked in the bathroom. I have toilet paper scraps stuck to the blood on my thighs, which I've smeared to look even worse.
Oh my God.
I've decided that what I need to do is go outside, get my suitcase that has other clothes and my toiletries in it, bring said suitcase into the bathroom, and then approach cleaning my thighs, changing and cleaning the floor. I re-don my bloody shorts and prepare myself. It is about 15 feet from my car to the bathroom. I open the door and Mr. Dad is still there. I turn to him and say, quote, "Girl Dad, I need you to not let anyone in this bathroom. I am walking to that car and coming right back. Do not let anyone in." I scurry to my car, open the door, grab for my suitcase, and look up to see that two women have walked up.
Oh my
And he is
God.
pointing at me to tell them not to go in
And you're covered in blood.
and holding your suitcase. I take my suitcase, smile apologetically, and head back to the scene of the crime. At this point, I assume everyone has seen the 10-inch diameter blood stain on my ass and my thighs smeared with blood and toilet paper. Embarrassment has left my body.
Yeah.
I have gone so full circle of shame that I no longer care about anything.
Good for you.
All I want to do is clean the floor, get on clean pants, and get the heck out. I'm feeling safe because I have my toiletry bag, which always has a pack of emergency wet wipes. I'm so close to being done here. That's when I remember I don't have my wet
you
wipes.
moved them!
I love a callback. I love a callback. Terrifying. That's when I remember I don't have my wet wipes because I put them in the front seat of the car for potato chip grease finger cleanup.
Oh my gosh.
It is at this point that I start cackling. What the hell is this? And friends, when I tell you I made the single ply work for me and left that bathroom looking tidy as heck, I want you to know this. No, I did not.
Yeah.
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 I left that bathroom dry and not visibly splattered with blood. And I'm very proud of that end result. I am a short queen. I do not know how I did it, but I somehow managed to contort my stubby legs to get my thighs close enough to splash water from the sink and clean my thighs. Bonus, now there was water on the floor too.
And water mixed with blood notoriously makes for a clean scene.
It's not going to spread any further.
No. my gosh.
I smeared all the water into all my previously spilt blood with single ply and wipe it up ply by ply.
Girl, you were in there for hours. There's no way you weren't.
You just drive home to Denver at the end of this, right? like,
Put it in reverse.
I thought the road would heal me, and it put everything in perspective.
That I need to be in a comfortable home with at least 2-ply toilet paper.
I wasn't built for this life.
Yeah. I certainly wasn't.
Back to normal. One might say, if pink grout is normal.
Oh.
I wheeled my suitcase outside to what was now a line of 5+ women, shrugged, announced, period problems, climbed into my car with my head held high. Luckily, this is the most disruptive event of the trip.
Good for you.
The little postscript is that I called my friend in Albuquerque, told her what happened, and said I needed to do laundry at her house.
Aw.
While I'm an open book, this friend is a shy bird, and she told me her husband is way better at handling period stuff than she is.
Whoa.
I got to their house before he came home from work, and when he got home, after saying hello, her husband looked me caringly in the eyes and said, I heard you had a rough period. Did she show you the OxyClean? That is me tying it all together to say that it turns out some women are more squeamish about periods than men. So maybe I should have started with Grant and Maya all along. Yes! I did not know that was there. I did not know that was there. Yeah, well, I'm in again. I never was gone, but I'm definitely in now.
I just feel betrayed.
I love a callback. No, you handled the story better than I did.
Yeah, I know. Because it's happened to me.
What can I say? Like all my fellow chaos bisexuals before me, I simply cannot make a choice.
No, that's fair.
Thanks to... Sorry. Thanks to both of you for the laughs and the learning. I thoroughly enjoy following you down rabbit holes weekly. And in case you're wondering about the moral of my story, I think you already know. Do not take off your shoes in the women's restroom at the Alta gas station on 285 in Poncha Springs. Yes, this was 3.5 years ago, and one would hope they've cleaned the floor since then. But still, be safe. Again, that was the Alta gas station, exit 285, Poncha Springs.
On Highway 285.
See you in the cheese caves, or apparently not. Laura.
Apparently not.
Bravo.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I finally started putting together my story for Shoot Your Shot. No, it's not ready, actually.
Fine.
By the time I realized that we need to re-record, I turned off the documentary and went, well, we're not performing
Bought
this
me another
this
week.
Yeah. I really didn't want to have to re-record this, but at the same time, I was like, nice.
I'm happy with how this is going so far.
Okay. Linden. I think I am perfectly too late for Red-Handed because today is 11/17. That was true the day we recorded, but it's not that day anymore. Okay. Long-time listener, first-time writer. Been creeping since the beginning, but the anxiety has never allowed me to venture further than sending along a couple reels on Insta. But the time has come. My name is Linden, pronoun she, her. You have permission. And this is a story about when I caught car thieves red-handed.
Oh my God, wait, this one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Specifically, this is a story of how my car was stolen 1.5 times. To start, I went to college in Greeley. Parentheses as Coloradans, I'm sure you don't need me to explain Greeley, but I made it through college with no student loans and thus regret nothing about choosing to go to school there.
Yeah, Yeah.
Smells like cow poop. That's all I
I
know.
will just tell you, the last school I worked at, there was always a day every year where basically the entire school was gone on college trips.
Oh.
And the sophomores went to UNC.
Oh.
That was a tough trip to get assigned. Juniors went to CSU Fort Collins,
Oh, that's
and freshmen
cool.
went to CU Denver. See you in the city. Anyways, Greeley, yay!
Some of the best teachers I know went there, I think. Not Grant,
There's a
obviously.
teacher college there.
It's actually known, I think, for its teacher
Yes.
college, yeah. I lived about 2 blocks from the train tracks on the right side of them, but not by much. My car, parentheses, the first I'd ever owned, was a Honda Civic older than me that had clearly been previously owned and loved by someone's grandparent.
Oh.
But it was still a child of the 80s, and I, as a young person, was not necessarily the good car owner I am now. I wish I knew what had gone wrong with it, but suffice to say, it was not running, and I had left it parked next to my rental townhouse that I shared with 3 friends. Since it didn't run, you can imagine my surprise when I woke from my tipsy slumber to a call from a guy I was dating at 2 a.m. on New Year's Eve on his way home from work to ask me, babe, where's your car?
Here's the thing. That's a question we legitimately could be asked this New Year's Eve. That's because we love New Year's Eve.
That's true. We I think live for New Year's Eve.
As my family would say, we get after it.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Linden answers, outside? And he said no.
Your car is not outside.
Yeah. I woke the rest of the way up. He came in. We stared at the space where my car once was. That image, I do remember that image the first time we read this, is so comical. Both you staring at an empty parking spot.
Yeah, in my mind, there's just no snow where the car had been, but there's also no car.
Yes. And we called the police. I explained it didn't even run and my deep confusion about how it vanished, and they took a report and left. Several days later, I got a call from a police officer. They found my car about 10 miles out of town, where it had been used in an attempted armed robbery. Parentheses, I guess they were unsuccessful.
I don't think I shared this with you on the last, like when we recorded this the first time. This is not like the 3rd or 4th person who had their car stolen and then just like basically almost found the car themselves.
Yeah.
Like this driving around with them being like, oh shit, there's my car.
Oh, there's my car. There it is.
Like literally driving around town like clicking your clicker.
Setting it on panic mode.
The Lincoln Police Department suggested that if your car got stolen, to just go kind of cruise around the parking lots of large stores like Walmarts and things like that. Because whenever they commit a crime, they usually just ditch
leave it
there.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know.
Interesting. Okay.
So if you ever want to get into stealing cars,
heard it here first from a public school teacher.
we got to make ends meet somehow.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess they were unsuccessful in the attempted armed robbery. And they also said that if I could get there within half an hour with a way to tow it, he wouldn't call the tow company, for which I would be charged. I said I'd find someone as fast as I could, and he said, while you're making your way out here, I'm going to start going through some of this evidence. I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but do you own a firearm? I did not.
There's like literal plushies in the car.
What do you think, sir? Several phone calls later, I was on my way with a friend with tow capabilities.
Sorry.
What were you doing?
I'm going to pause you for a second. A couple days ago, trust me throughout this story, okay? A couple of days ago, it's the start of like period 5. It's the class right after lunch, so they're a little rambunctious, and I'm like not usually a huge believer in like screaming over a class to try to get their attention. And so I've like started, I'm trying, like there's a couple different tactics that I've begun, and then I just raise my hands up in the air and I say, I have begun. And they turn around and they go, what the fuck, Thomas? And I go, what? They go, why would you say you have a gun?
Oh!
It's like, what?
Whoa, that's not what I said, but it worked.
And then I was also like, how dare you be mostly listening to me and then still talking over me and then now mad? Continue.
Okay. Several phone calls later, I was on my way with a friend with tow capabilities, and we drove out into the countryside until we saw, next to the highway, my car and someone's old station wagon next to the train tracks. My windshield was smashed, my car liberally coated in fingerprint dust, and a lone police officer had my hatchback open and was pulling clothes and trash out of my car. We spent the next half hour sorting through stuff that was not mine, the cop jokingly asking me if I wanted these pants or that hoodie so he wouldn't have to log them into evidence.
Well, county sheriff.
Yeah, good policing. My car was trashed. Snack food wrappers, trunk full of clothing and stolen papers. It was hot wired, locks were all messed up, glass all over the front seat. I found a bullet.
Oh.
The thieves had taken all my spare change and my small plastic ninjas. R.I.P. Eventually, we hooked up my car to the Jeep and towed it back to my house with me sitting in what felt like a stranger's car, steering. For the fun of it, we put it back where it had been stolen from for a few days because I wasn't sure what to do. Would the police need it again? It was undrivable, so obviously I'd have to junk it, but I wasn't sure when it would be okay to do so I let it sit. A few days later, I had a change of heart and we pushed it around to the back of my parking lot behind our row of townhouses next to the dumpster on the furthest end from my unit. And there it sat for several days until one Sunday, I was walking home from work and glanced back at my car as I walked by. The hood was popped. 2 men were fixing my car? Do I say thank you?
Right.
Or, I made eye contact with one of them, unable to look away as I kept walking, until I left line of sight and then broke into a run. Oh, God! The visuals you are creating, Linden, are incredible. I threw my front door open and announced to my roommate, who was coding on the couch, that my car was being actively stolen. I can still hear him I can still hear him perfectly in my memory. What the fuck, again? I'm dialing 911 as we sneak out the back door to our fenced-in little porch and peer through the wooded slats. The dispatcher has me stay on the line until 2 squad cars squeal into my parking lot, officers jumping out, guns drawn, and arrest both of them. We're eventually brave enough to go out the front door and walk the long way around.
Right.
So, the thieves don't know where we live to talk to the officers. A several hours long saga ensues. At some point, some of my neighbors also come home, act shady. They end up in handcuffs too, because it turns out they are friends with the car thieves. They were let go after questioning. A criminal informant shows up at some point, and I'm beginning to wonder how my townhouse seemed so nice but is clearly a horrible den of crime. The cops try to explain things to me, like why they're letting one of the guys have a cigarette break. They're playing good cop because they're after a bigger fish and are trying to get the guy to give him up.
That's every teacher when you feed the naughty kid a granola bar.
Yeah.
You're like, we're going to get to the bottom of this.
You do you, boo. I'm just a theater major. And how they had to release one of the guys for lack of evidence because he insisted he was just the other guy's mechanic and he had no idea the car was stolen.
I just roll up and the car doesn't start and the window's broken and it's covered in fingerprint dust. And I just think, I would
my friend just needs...
I'd want to save this car too.
I find this very difficult to believe for 2 reasons. One, the part where the car was hot wired. Wait. And we later found a sticker in my rearview mirror that said, "Drive it like you stole it."
Never skip English class, kids, even if you want to lead a life of crime.
The cops found this sticker hilarious, and I still have it.
I hope she has the whole mirror. That would actually just rip the mirror off.
The cops ask us to go look over my car. Not only have the criminals cleaned it out and thrown away the trash, they've neatly left a 6-pack of beer in the back seat and done some decorating, the aforementioned sticker.
Nice.
The cops tell me I can keep the beer. And I think I'm halfway to saying I'm 19 and they don't seem to care. And I think
Weld County Sheriff.
Yeah, and I think I halfway say I'm 19 and they don't seem to care. Yeah, that's great policing all around. Letting the criminals have smoke breaks, letting the 19-year-old have beer.
I'm not going to lie. I'm a little surprised they didn't pretend it was evidence and then just drank it themselves.
Yeah, same.
But
yeah.
I don't think Weld County Sheriff's allowed to drink on the job anymore.
After the incident.
Listen, I would say different things about them if they didn't vote for Lauren Boebert.
So, oops. Underage drinking. Oh, the gang unit had bigger problems than underage drinking. They eventually leave with the one guy in handcuffs, and I don't hear anything until several months later when I receive something in the mail from the court asking me for an affidavit against, quote, the big fish, who apparently fully stole my car the first time, the big fish. My mom got the shady neighbors evicted. I was nervous the rest of the time I lived there that someone would come and enact retribution on me, but nothing ever happened. I was awarded $500 entire dollars in restitution for my junked car, which I proceeded to receive in random tiny dollar amounts here and there for the next 15 years.
Anytime he had a job that paid into Social Security, it just hoovered it all up.
All over, yeah. And that's the story of how my car was stolen 1.5 times in 2 weeks, and also the story of when police officers gave me beer before I was of legal drinking age.
Incredible.
No, it's so
Incredible. Funny. I am gonna tell you the subject line.
Okay.
2 nighttime bumps, 1 broom closet, 0 structural integrity.
Oh, no.
The greeting. I hadn't appreciated this at first. Hello, cowards.
I did see this email come in. I deeply remember reading that headline.
Then in nervous parentheses, first genderless group term that came to mind.
I have been really loving calling people cowards recently, so.
You should tell it to a group of 16-year-olds and just watch how it changes the dynamic of a classroom. I've won awards. Hi, friends. My name is Annie. She, her pronouns. You can absolutely use my name and the names of everyone in this story. Long-time listener, first-time writer. Well, technically second-time writer, because I have written to tell you how the float plane pilots in the town of Kodiak, Alaska, called Timothy Treadwell bear enthusiast turned bear snack Timothy Snackwell. One of the pilots.
That was so crazy.
One of the pilots flew his resupply flights and said every delivery mysteriously contained a suspicious amount of raw meat. And then the one time the pilot got stuck on the weather hold for days on end, Timothy doesn't get his meat resupply. And, well, let's just say the circle of life has a dark sense of humor. Anyhoozle. Just squeaking in, solving the death of Timothy Treadwell. To a different story labeled 2 nighttime bumps, 1 broom closet, and 0 structural integrity.
I'm ready for the rest of this email.
Also, Annie, you're allowed to call us cowards.
We are.
The start of this email has taken no prisoners and has given no fucks. Anyhoozle, actually what they wrote.
Yeah, I can see that.
Back to the story. I know the theme Bump in the Night was a while back, but if you feel like scooting back down memory lane, I've got 2 bumps in the night for you, baby. Say in Maya's voice.
Baby.
Gotta put that at the start of the line. Kind of like a question mark in Spanish. It lets you know how the inflection goes. Because you put the question mark at the front of the sentence.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
I just want to make sure.
Thank you.
And you know I know. We're going to have to get off air before we get canceled.
Yeah.
The year is 2015. People are wearing straight out of blank shirts like they're like they're getting royalties. Mm-hmm. The entire internet is losing its mind over whether that silly dress was white and gold or black and blue.
Was it white or gold?
Black and blue.
Oh my God, no, it's not. It's white and gold.
I distrust you now right in this minute more than at any point in our 3.
Okay, you can edit the podcast then.
I've traveled to countries with you. We have broken laws together, and I don't trust you right now. You're a black and gold bitch? Are you kidding me?
No, it's white. You said black and...
What did I say?
You said black
what
and blue.
What do you believe?
Well, now you just want to believe the opposite. You don't even know.
And I'm a junior in college studying abroad in Thailand with about 25 other American environmental scientist students. A group of youngbloods trying to stumble through learning a tonal language without accidentally insulting someone's grandmother or saying penis instead of banana, which I did on several occasions.
I need to know why they sound so similar.
Annie, take it from me. Common misconception.
Ew.
Gross, right?
The fuck was that? Is this you coming out as asexual?
This is coming out of my cage, and I'm doing just fine.
Gotta be down. I don't actually know that word, apparently.
Baby. For the first month and a half, we lived with host families in, and I'm sorry, I did not get a pronunciation guide. I'm going to say Chiang Mai, Chiang space MAI.
Cool.
During the time, we were told we could not drink alcohol. This was meant to, quote, support culture and language immersion.
What?
It accomplished this, but also supported feral levels of pent-up chaos in a group of 20-year-olds who had not yet learned the concept of reasonable decisions.
Yes, true. Exactly.
It is legitimately the math I do when trying to figure out what time to set lights out on these chaperoned trips.
Yeah.
Too early and they'll sneak out. Too late and they will break actual laws. Cut to us finally moving into a rundown apartment building that somehow had the world's saddest rooftop pool. And I mean pool in the sense that water existed in a contained area. Maybe. And although most of us loved our time with our host families, we were finally free. Thus, we immediately decided to go hit the clubs. I love you, Annie. Because we all fam.
Oh my God.
In the club, we are all fam. Are you racist? You're not on TikTok the way I'm on TikTok.
No.
That's from Broad City.
Okay.
So we're going to hit the clubs and then come home to christen the rooftop pool with a party. Almost said Christian, so glad I said it right. We bought whiskey and more bottles of Chang beer than should legally be sold to American college kids. Now, Thailand is a modest country, and outside of the tourist zones, it is considered disrespectful to show shoulders, midriffs, or too much leg.
Wow.
So we all covered up appropriately with our sarongs. This is an important detail for later. Until we were in the safety of the pool deck, and luckily we had the whole rooftop to ourselves.
Nice.
All of us were pretty saucy at this point,
Yep.
but the beer changs started flowing and the music started bumping, including at one point in the night the entire Charlie Brown Christmas soundtrack.
You are me. That's me with Hamilton. Give me a remote and I will. I think on my birthday, I did make them all listen to Death Becomes Her while I was like near blackout drunk.
Enter, all caps. We were feral.
Yeah.
enter.
No notes.
At some point, two members of our cohort vanished. Let's call them Nick and Annika.
Yep.
Let's.
Yeah, let's. Grant would like to read a book about Nick and maybe make Annika like
Andrew.
Andrew, yeah.
There it is.
Yep.
You got there.
Thank you.
They had been making hard eyes at each other since week one. So honestly, we assumed they'd slithered away to do whatever undergrad hormones do. The rest of us partied, shouted the wrong Thai words at each other, and eventually stumbled to our beds. As I tried to fall asleep, I heard a loud crash and then two separate, distinct thunks that shook the whole building. But I was drunk and 20, so naturally I shrugged and went back to sleep.
Again, you are me. Yeah.
If I die, I die.
If
but
I
I'm
die,
not
I
getting out of bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
If she orders DoorDash Subway in the next paragraph, I'm going to swear it's you.
It's me writing emails to our email.
So naturally, I shrugged and went to sleep. The next morning, news spread through the cohort faster than a feral street cat on a fish skeleton. Nice.
What?
I'm sure, I'm sure it's the thing you saw.
Yeah.
Nick and Annika had indeed snuck off to hook up, but not to either of their actual apartments. No. Why use a bed when the broom closet by the rooftop pool offered such irresistible ambiance? Picture it. Two drunk, wet Americans making out. By that point, I read, because this is the start of another a paragraph.
Yeah.
When I read that, I was like, all right, Annie, we're gonna,
all right.
I don't know how this ends, but we're there. Two drunk, wet Americans, I'm in. Making out against metal shelving full of cleaning supplies.
Oh, hot again.
They're pressed up against the wall, the shelves, the questionable mop bucket, when the floor collapses.
Oh my God!
The floor actually collapses. These two crash straight through the floor like cartoon characters and land on some poor Thai man's apartment porch on the floor below. Annika nearly misses falling all the way to the fucking parking lot. She lands halfway on the porch railing like a stunned flying squirrel. The Thai man, hearing the crash, opens his door at 2 a.m. to find two soaking wet, bloodied, bruised, nearly naked, hammered American college students.
That must have been a crazy night for him.
He lives right below a pool deck.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's had a couple crazy nights. And these two, bless their hearts, immediately jump to their feet, put their hands in the Y prayer pose, bow deeply, and start frantically whispering, KHAO space TOAD. So cow toad is like how I would pronounce it, which is Thai for sorry, as they did not have the adequate vocabulary to say, quote, sorry we were getting frisky in the broom closet and accidentally fell through the floor onto your porch. And then sprint through his apartment out the front door.
I mean, I know there's not really another option, but that feels just so dehumanizing.
Like it's actually crazy to know that the most humiliating part of that was not falling out of a broom closet and almost dying.
Yeah.
By morning, our program administrator had already heard. They also learned Keelan, another student, got so drunk he forgot his keys and fell asleep soaking wet in swim trunks in front of the wrong door.
Oh, I hope it was the Thai man's apartment.
Scaring a sweet elderly Thai woman half to death. They also received complaints about us tracking water everywhere and someone attempting to penguin belly slide down the hallway tiles, leaving a slug trail of pool water like some unholy American
y'all
gastropod.
were feral.
Should have let you guys drink with the host families.
Yeah.
We were summoned to disciplinary meetings by our respective colleges. I vividly remember all of us another Colorado person.
Oh my God.
I vividly remember all of us Colorado college kids on a Zoom call, leaning off camera to take drags of cigarettes and swigs of beer chang.
I'm obsessed with you.
We were being interviewed for a Vice documentary. And Maya and I would watch it and then make an episode about it.
And then make an episode on the pool incident.
This is Splashdown.
Yeah. Hey.
Sometimes I got
Incredible.
it. Sometimes I'm a month after my own episode and I'm like, I don't have anything. He shoots him, but he's more complicated than that. Is that a title, Maya? Is that a title? And you're like, no, we can't make episode that.
The episode for next week that they haven't listened to.
Fuck! Is that? No, there's no way. Well... Who knows if we're going to cut that?
I might just bleep it out.
And then just tune back into, oh, you mean next week's episode, the story? I like that a lot more. Nick, Annika, and Keelan were kicked out of the program and sent home. Can I actually say that feels kind of dirty? Like,
as dirty
Keelan,
as having sex in a broom closet.
Oh, sorry. You're right. I think Nick and Annika should have been allowed to stay. Annika almost died, which raises like liability questions around the safety of the building they put them in to begin with. But I digress. They were sent home, which was a huge L. We are so of the same era. The rest of us were very nearly evicted, and I'm 95% sure bribe money was exchanged to keep us housed.
Oh.
We were formally banned from the rooftop pool, though. And to this day, every group of students who goes on that program stays in a completely different apartment building because of us. And this is our legacy.
We've had like 3 stories now of y'all hooligans that have studied abroad and then dramatically changed what the next year's study abroad program looks like.
It's amazing there's towns Americans are allowed to still study.
Honestly, with the number of stories we get from you guys.
Let's start getting like a little map, like a virtual map. They
of
can
where everyone
zoom
studied
into
abroad.
Cyprus, Thailand.
Yeah.
Moral of the story, honestly, quote, do not hook up in a broom closet in swimsuits in a foreign country because you might literally fall through the floor. Doesn't seem to be an appropriate lesson to glean from this. But this is the most literal, structural, architectural bump in the night that I have ever witnessed. Thanks for letting me relive this fever dream and for making us all laugh on a weekly basis. Freak on, cowgirls. Peace, love, and pool parties. Annie Brewster.
Peace, love, and pool parties.
And if you are still in Denver, let us know. I like the energy. You called us cowards.
Grant is immediately attracted to anyone who insults him.
You should know intimacy scares me, but intimidation is my love language.
Yep.
Oh.
Learning things about ourselves today, are we?
Okay. Oh. Gonna go ahead and put that down. There it is.
He almost knocked over his drink, you guys. He's shaken. And with that, I think probably our favorite story from the last time we recorded.
It was. Listen, we love all of them. They're all sweet,
Yes.
precious babies. But this story,
This story was good.
it's going to take you on a journey.
It is.
Enjoy it. Live, laugh, love. Cow freaks or whatever Annie called us. Freak on, cowgirls. There it is.
Okay.
Put it on a shirt. Cow freaks.
Yeah.
Sounds like an indie band in the 90s.
It also feels like RFK Jr. would wear it
Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah. Okay. On that note,
I'm just imagining RFK Jr. in like a tight neon pink shirt that in black text that looks like the Brat album just says cow freak.
freaks, and he's wearing a blazer on top of that. You have to remember.
And it's the cure to autism.
Seeing that image,
Exactly.
I can see it. I can see it, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Hello, my loves. If that sounded too intimate, blame yourselves because you've made us all feel like we're a part of your lives. Oh, yeah, this whole part is a compliment, right? Maybe because you're such a big part of our lives, as in my brother keeps making fun of what he calls my parasocial relationship with you guys, something I didn't even know the definition of because I have no other social media. My name is Luna, she, her, and you can use my name, the story, and everyone mentioned here. They don't listen to the pod, and if they happen across this episode, they deserve the karma.
It wasn't in the last episode, the listener who was like, Maya, you're sad and an engineer. Is it this one? I'm not going to say anything else. I think about it every 48 hours.
Every time you guys do this, it's always unintentional, and I always still deeply appreciate the compliments that you do give me, and there's no ill will, but it's so funny. Okay. This part is just about you guys. You can read it out loud to stoke those ego flames that are hopefully burning bright, or keep it as a little snack. I'm a longtime listener and the first-time writer. I came across the pod and started right at the beginning a couple months ago. I caught up and then subscribed to Patreon because I needed more. Maya, you remind me so... Sorry. Maya, you remind me so much of one of my best friends from college. Shout out Simone. She listens to the pod. Who's from Denver. Has a case of the depressies and also gets the best obsessions that produce these wonderful, glorious creations. Grant, the best way I can describe you.
Hold on, say it right. They haven't heard it before. Say it right. I can read it if you need me to. You're crying right now.
Grant, the best way I can describe you is that you are me, or I guess since you're older, the more likely sequence of events is that God, whomst I don't subscribe to, said, I created a good one with this template and then made me.
Since getting this email, an inside joke between Maya and I is, Maya, you're depressed, and Grant, God perfected the mold with you. And it means so much to us, like in an unironic sense.
You remind me of someone who's depressed.
And Grant, I just hope
God's
one day
gift
to
to
be
this earth.
half of what you are.
Oh my god. I think it might almost be better than the one that was like, engineering is cool, I guess.
But Grant, you are changing the world.
I love the work that you're doing. Oh my god.
Oh, never stop sending those
so
in.
funny. She then goes on to wax poetic about Grant and I, so I won't read all of that to you guys. Luna,
But now you're in on it.
We have read it. We do appreciate it, and we love you, and we're so happy that you're here. Okay, we're now at the story.
I want you to know too, we love this story not because of that. We love the story because of the
story.
But
I forgot that
yeah,
happened.
in our mind, it's actually two separate stories. So to get them both in the same email is so special.
It's just so good. Okay. Beginning of the story.
Have we told them what the headline is?
No.
Okay.
I don't think it matters much. Beginning of the story. I want to take us back to last October when I stood out front of JFK saying goodbye to my boyfriend. His name is Danny. He was about to go to Ethiopia for a year. He was Ethiopian. To find himself.
And this was our final moments as a couple. We hadn't been dating long, but he was the first person I could imagine a future with. For months after he left, whenever I would see an old couple holding hands, I would think, I don't know what the journey will be, but that's going to be us. I was down bad.
Yeah.
If Grant ever says that to me, I'm calling Lydia. There's a deep problem.
We have to get Grant to Kansas City.
Yes, we've got to kidnap this man right now.
Leave his phone. We don't want him to track his
No,
location.
my God.
I think that's special that others experience it. The slutty little hockey rom-com book was so filthy that I texted Maya, it has me believing in love again.
Yeah, that's something for a professional to deal with.
Because intimacy scares me, but intimidation is my love language. Or whatever I said.
That's like verbatim what you said. You were traumatized. Okay. We hadn't been dating long. That's going to be us. I was down bad. But I knew I had to get over him, parentheses, and under somebody else, as my mom would say, because he was the first ex I actually liked and thought I wanted in my life. We had talked about transitioning to friendship as if love is something one can just mold. But I consider myself a craftswoman, and I decided I was going to try and make this friendship work. We would call on the phone every couple weeks/months and talk for hours. It wasn't a smooth ride, but by March, I felt like I was truly over him. But of course, the universe had other tests in mind. In August, I got promoted at work, and I decided I wanted to take some time off before I started my new position. My mom and godmother live in Spain, and I wanted to go visit them, so I decided to spend 2.5 weeks in Barcelona at the end of September. It was around that time I mentioned to Danny that I would be there, and he said that he was going to be traveling through North Africa around that time, and since Barcelona was just across the Mediterranean, we should meet up.
Okay.
We could meet up. And since he was going to Tunisia after and meet up with a friend of his, I could come with him. So we hopped on a call for 10 minutes to figure out dates, and it was planned. This was what we decided. He would get to Barcelona on a Friday, 4 days after I landed. We would spend the weekend getting to know each other again, since it had been a year since we had last laid eyes on each other. And then on Tuesday, we would fly to Tunisia.
I'm going to share a story. Am I being vulnerable right now? I think I am. You got to be careful about these kind of trips, okay? You can fall in love with anybody walking around a European city.
Yeah.
And here's my proof of that. A couple years ago, I did a nearly month-long trip to Europe that ended with essentially Tyler and I spending 4 days alone together as we walked through Rome, Florence, and then Venice. Just him and I for like 4 days, sharing multiple beds. And at the end of it, like we never touched each other. At the end of it, my friend whose personality I find manic and whose body type I find like gaunt, I was like, am I in love with you? No. And then I got on the plane and I was like, oh, no.
Definitely no.
Listen, I mean, I love him, right? Like I do love him, but like not in that way, right? But like it's hard when like all I've drank today was Aperol spritzes and now I'm having like focaccia.
I only share beds with gay men because of that.
Yeah. No, but like, like you end up accidentally falling in love with people that you care about, and then like got on the plane and I was like, well, thank God.
Tyler
for
has
that.
a way of doing that to people, though. I've noticed a lot of people end up are like, am I in love with him? No.
It's actually so funny to watch it happen at parties because we can be like, haha, these fools.
I love it when it happens to straight women.
Right. And the tough thing is, it's like he's a great listener. And so you really do feel like seen by him in that moment. He's waiting for you to talk to him. He's waiting for you to stop so he can mention the next thing he's anxious about. But he's really good about waiting.
Sometimes.
He'll wait days sometimes. And other times he won't. At one point on that trip, I was like, well, you know, Tyler, they have help hotlines if you ever feel like that again in the middle of the night. And I still wasn't sure if I was in love with him or not. And then I got on the plane and I was like, no, it was literally just proximity.
And
he doesn't
Rome,
listen.
probably.
Rome, Florence, and Venice. Like actual heterosexually married couples go to Branson. Like the, you know, like you could fall in love with anybody. He doesn't, I don't like listen anymore. And I don't think anyone close enough in our world listens this deep into the listener episodes. So
yeah, that's that.
I'm sorry to interrupt. We were organizing a love match in Barcelona.
Yes, a love match in Barcelona. They're going to spend the weekend together, get to know each other, see if it's still a vibe, see if they're still friends or whatever. And then they're going to go to Tunisia together. Remember a couple of sentences ago when I said I was
a couple sentences and an entire Grant story ago when I mentioned I was feeling totally chill and super okay about being friends. That went straight out the window about 3 seconds after I bought my ticket.
What a well-placed Grant story. What insanely topical Grant story that was.
Oh my God.
The tough thing is I want to be like, this was intentional. This was part of my lesson plan. It wasn't. It just felt good. And now I'm bullshitting my way through it. Please mark me above average on my work observation.
Above average. Okay. I couldn't shake the feeling that the other shoe was going to drop. What shoe? It didn't matter. I couldn't trust that I was about to see Danny until he had landed. And I've come to realize the universe knows how to communicate with me. As the days passed, I felt more and more anxious until I was sick with uncertainty because of the feelings I had been ascribing as friendly had slowly morphed, and suddenly I was a week away from getting on a plane to Barcelona, asking myself if I was still in love with my ex.
Pausing for no one in the audience being shocked, by the way.
What?
We're talking about you in the car right now.
Yeah. But I decided to trust love one more time and bought my ticket to Tunisia.
That little bit has had more of a staying power than anything else.
That little bit has lasted longer than basically, and it's pretty close to outliving Hot Again.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Trust love one more time. And I think it's like plagiarizing from a Maya Angelou poem or something.
I think we're so far away from the original vision of the quote that I don't think you can call it plagiarism anymore.
That's fair. Trust love one more time, and I bought my ticket to Tunisia, though I wasn't convinced everything would turn out grand, so I only bought it one way, so that if I bailed, I wouldn't be in the hole for an entire round trip's ticket cost.
Nothing says exit plan, more like I have no plan to exit.
I'm gonna live there now.
I mean, there's a chance that we just pick up and
Where we left off.
Who knows where I'm flying to after Tunisia?
True.
I don't think it's Luna, right? I don't think Luna would admit that in the email, but like I've been to Lulu a time or two before.
A time or two. That's so funny.
Having too much fun tonight.
I landed in Barcelona and spent the first couple days drinking my café con leche, tanning on nude beaches, and eating my little tapas. But the entire time, this feeling of anticipation was growing and growing, and then I received the text. There was a visa issue at the airport, and Danny had missed his flight. The earliest he could get to Barcelona was now Monday, and remember, they're leaving for Tunisia on Tuesday. They won't have the weekend anymore. There will be no testing the waters, no seeing if we still clicked. I would get about 27 hours to decide if I wanted to go to Tunisia with him. So I did what any 24-year-old stood up for the weekend in Barcelona would do. I went dancing and then backpacking into the mountains.
Okay.
The sign of mental health crisis.
Oh. No,
My encounter with a large deer and almost falling off a cliff are stories for a different time. That's Eat, Pray, Love,
and,
baby.
Like omens. There it is. Found it. Almonds. Nope. Getting closer though.
Stay with us. But in short, I had a blast. By Monday, I was barely certain that Danny was going to land, even though he had texted me that he'd gotten on the plane, and my feelings had settled into two bins. Version 1 was that I was going to lay eyes on him and realize I was in love with him and we were going to have a romantic adventure.
Hot again.
There it is. There it is.
Force it back.
Yeah. Version 2 is that I would see him and realize that it was just a deep friendship between us, and I was so lucky to have retained this important relationship. Cast your votes now!
Sorry.
When he walked through the door, I was so excited. It had been a year. We hugged and made our way to the bus that would take us to the heart of the city, and my elation slowly faded as we began to talk. Or should I be more clear, as he started to talk. Every time I added a comment, he would interrupt me to comment on something he was seeing. And at first I chalked it up to culture shock or on us not having been in the same space for a year, so I didn't pay it any mind. We spent the next couple hours exploring and ended up at the beach drinking a coffee. All the words that had been rolling around in my chest were threatening to explode all over the beach. I had no idea if he remembered one of our last convos before he had left the US, where we'd said the next time we were in the same space, we'd grab a coffee and talk about what we wanted from each other. I know, okay? I was living in a rom-com.
It's so good to reread this,
yes.
You know, like just hear so much. Our thoughts were different first time hearing through it, but this is good.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I was living in a rom-com of my own making where I expected this man to remember details like that.
That's real. But here we were drinking coffee, and I couldn't stop myself from considering the possibility that this was the moment we would have our heart to heart. It was not.
This is not a Matthew McConaughey character.
No.
This is not a person written
He does
by women.
not see you. He is also not what Laura's husband, or no, whose husband? That Laura's friend's husband.
There it is. Down in
who was
Albuquerque.
better at dealing with period blood than his wife. Okay. Here we are drinking coffee. This was the moment we would have our heart to heart. It was not. I managed to hold myself together until our walk to dinner. We had plans to get dinner with two friends who had also landed in Barcelona that day, and about 5 blocks from the restaurant, my walls came crashing down. I told him that I had felt really nervous about seeing him again, that I wasn't sure how I was going to feel, and he expressed that he shared my nerves, though thinking back on it, his concerns seemed to focus much more on the fear that I wouldn't accept or want his friendship. I eventually asked the question that had been on my mind for a month. You see, my understanding had been that we had broken up because of distance, so I told him to honestly tell me how he felt about the possibility of us. And I guess I asked for it, but his real next words were, I see no future with you.
It's like the worst thing you could hear at the time and the best thing you could hear moving forward.
Because it makes it so easy to move on a little. It
allows your body to fully shift them into this is an enemy now, and they are making me unsafe.
Okay, that's Grant talking.
You must vanquish this person. Intimacy is scary. Intimidation is your love language.
That's the third time he said it now. At some point, he's going to actually realize it.
I think I've documented 3 years. I don't sit in shame long.
No,
I will
I'm not asking
embrace
you to
it
sit in shame.
Scary way. Because God perfected the mold with this
intimidation
one.
is your love language. Okay. Anyway. I don't see a future with you. My response to that, you ask? I swallowed with a nod, and then we went to dinner. Before we got into what's next, I need you guys to know that those words closed the door. I had asked for clarity, and even though it was harsh and blunt, and maybe not how I would have gone about it, he'd given me that. And whatever spiral I'd been on was cut short. At this point, I was still under the impression that we had a friendship to protect, one that was beautiful and precious and worth whatever pain led to it. Boy, was I wrong. Would you have gotten on a plane 12 hours later? Because I did. I really wanted to see Tunisia. And how much more emotional turbulence could there be after that last conversation? So the next day, we got on the plane, and as I mentioned before, the plan was to meet with his friend Neil in Tunis, someone I knew and liked. The next 6 hours were a smattering of pink flags. For some reason, I was in charge of both of our boarding passes. He reminded me that I shouldn't third wheel Neil.
I forget some of these details.
Not a problem, because we aren't together.
Right.
And then when we'd landed and gone to get our dinner, he told me to keep track of how much we spent so we could split it. None of which on its own would have raised any concerns, but together, what am I, mommy?
Yeah, you're just assistant for my trip right now.
Gross. Yeah. Okay, the next morning, it got worse. How? I wasn't sure what had happened overnight, but he wouldn't speak to me. He would respond to Neil, and then whenever I spoke, there was no response or some dismissive comment, and then he would change the subject. Like, men will literally. Today I was on the highway, and I was trying to merge into the express lane because there was like hella traffic, and I was not having it. And I had my blinker on. We were going kind of slow, and the truck that was like behind me, huge like lifted truck, had left enough space, but it was like barely enough space, and he wasn't like making any moves to go forward, so I figured he had seen me.
Right.
And then I merge in. This man throws a tantrum in a truck.
Good. Like
cartoon, like swerves out of the lane, swerves around me, and like deliberately cuts me off like immediately.
What lane does he swerve into?
It's like in the area where the express lane is like merging.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I was like, what a fucking child.
So dramatic.
What a child. Grow up, dude. Also, like, I merged legally, you did not. So fuck you. Anyway.
Isn't this like also not to like advocate for him or like try to understand his world, but like, isn't this also now ruining his trip?
Yeah.
To like be weirdly one side beefing with somebody?
You're not experiencing
A
Tunisia.
person you could be making out with, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, part of me is like, put emotions aside to the very last day, throw your bodies at each other. No consequences, okay? Solve it in text messages on the plane afterwards.
Grant has no emotional attachment issues. Yeah, cool. Grant wants an end date. He needs to know when this thing is signed, sealed, delivered.
Because once I know the end date, we can get started.
You're going to be like, reality, I started a fight.
Yes.
Yeah. The next morning, it got worse, blah, 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 blah. Neil called him out. On top of that, he kept making these abrasive comments. And the first couple times I figured I was just being sensitive or dramatic until Neil called him out and said that he was being a dick. The morning put me in a sour mood, but it was a beautiful city. And if there's anything I'm good at, seeing the beauty around me. I wrote in my journal, proof attached, quote, if I was you, and I am, I would make the most of your time here.
I've also thought about that a lot.
Yeah.
And I forget that all of this is coming from the same email. Luna, like a lot of your emails stayed with me. But the like, if I was you and I am, here's what I would do. Because at like third person's your own advice to yourself.
It's really fucked up because that's what I do to my friends when I'm like, if that was me, what would you do?
Right.
And then when Casey does that to me, I'm like, fuck you, you don't get it. So yeah.
Right.
Healthy, I think. So I decided that I was going to have an amazing time. And if he wasn't speaking to me, I wouldn't offer the privilege of my presence.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you, Luna. We spent the entire day exploring Sidi Bou Said, S-I-D-I space B-O-U
like
space
Said.
S-A-I-D, yes. Swam in the sea, picked jasmine flowers, and ate lunch with an old man I'd met the night before. On the way home, Danny and Neil chatted, and I walked beside them, appreciating the way the sun turned the white stones gold. I'm sorry, Luna. That's a detail you remember when you're remembering that you want to remember that detail.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's funny.
Okay.
Yeah. She's like, I wasn't bothered by them at all. I was looking at the beautiful
At
way
how
that the
beautiful it
sun
all
was.
Having third wheeled most of the day.
Yes. I was upset because it really felt like I wasn't wanted there, which even if that was the case, I was only there for 3 days. You could be an adult and pretend. By the time we got home, I was tired of being in their presence. They went to get dinner and I found myself a spot in the Airbnb where I could watch the stars. I called my friend to tell her about the day and my frustrations with the entire situation. I told her I would wait to bring anything up tomorrow because still maybe I was reading things wrong. When we got off the phone, I went to go make myself some mint tea and they asked me where I had been sitting and joined me on the lip of the empty pool. Eventually, Neil went inside and Danny and I were left talking in the darkness. He was saying something about not liking when people asked, how are you doing? Or are you okay? And I was telling him that was a dumb take. Good for you.
Correct.
Eventually I said, quote, the reason I'm harping on you about this is because I've obviously not been feeling great today. And I was wondering if you'd noticed. To which he said, yeah, I have. And I replied, so do you have anything to ask me?
Mm.
I told him that he was making me feel like I was unwanted here, and that was a shitty way to treat someone. And he responded with why he felt like we were disconnected. Dear reader, I don't remember everything said, but I do remember this point that he made. When we were at the beach in Barcelona, we'd been having a, quote, conversation where I would say something and then he would interrupt me and change the subject. He told me that he felt weird because we used to connect about world topics and systems, whatever that means, and being in Ethiopia had really changed his priorities and he didn't care about what I was saying. Girl, throw him into the ocean. Girl, bye. Y'all, I was flabbergasted.
But also, it's like one of those things, too, where it's like, oh, whoa, I'm embarrassed that I ever liked you at all.
Not at all. You're a
bad
asshole.
person.
Yeah.
Like, to the point where, like, you're such a bad person, you're clearly going through some deep shit right now, you know?
Yeah. Yikes. Who says things like that? It was in that moment that I realized that there may be a version 3. Remember version 1 that they're going to be in a romantic relationship, version 2 that they're going to be in a friendship relationship, version 3 that I don't really like the person that he'd become and wouldn't even want a friendship. Anyway, the conversation proceeded in a similar way, and I honestly couldn't stop thinking about all the wonderful people I had to come back to at home who saw me as a whole human being worthy of kindness.
We arrived at a couple conclusions. We shouldn't have done this trip to Tunisia without having a version of this conversation, which she, I think, tried to have, if I remember correctly.
I also think tried to have a couple of days in Barcelona before this trip.
Yeah, which he was unable to get through, whatever. And friendship would take time to figure out what our boundaries were. I thought we were done. But no, dear reader, he had more.
Of course he does.
He began with, quote, I want to tell you a story. Parentheses. The following paragraph is in his perspective.
When men tell stories, it's like, oh my God, shut up.
Truly. It's like them pulling out the guitar and saying, like, here's Wonderwall. Yeah. When I was in Ethiopia, I met someone my last couple of months. We started going out, and it was about the time when we would have started to get more serious when I cut things off. I was about to leave back to the US, and I had done this before. Quote, he's referring to our end of term relationship in this, and didn't want a repeat when I knew that there was only heartache. So I explained the situations and we ended things. A little while later, I was reading this book and talked about how loving someone gives you the chance to learn about others and yourself. And if you don't allow yourself to have that opportunity, you are missing out. It was a revelation. Cough, cough. This is the convo we had when we started dating our last couple of months of school, but I'm learning men have a memory of a goldfish, apparently.
And really need to be taught empathy and like perspective.
Yeah, and also creative writing skills. So I went back to the girl and I told her, remember every excuse I made before? Fuck it. I want to be with you. And she said no. She didn't want him blowing into her life and fucking things up. She had her shit sorted. That's when he paused for a second while I stared up at the night sky, slightly confused why he was telling me this story. And then he said, I was heartbroken. I had never felt like that before. He said that to me, his ex-girlfriend.
Sitting next to him on the edge of an empty pool in North Africa under the night stars.
Yes. Yeah. It's romantic. I mean, if it was.
It's romantic, except this is maybe the worst experience of your life, you know?
But she remembers every detail very vividly. And that's really good.
Untraumatizing.
Yes. No trauma. Before he could utter another word, I interrupted. Good for you for interrupting. Quote, as much as it stings that you just said our breakup didn't mean anything to you, I'm glad you're hurting because karma's a bitch. That's a goosebumps walk away.
Good for you, Luna.
That was good. Why did he tell me that story? I have no idea. But the inconsiderate nature of that entire conversation made it easy for the book to close, get shelved, and pushed to a dark, dusty corner. I had one day left, and the three of us had a blast. And then the day after I went back to Barcelona. And in the 1 month since, I can tell you that it's been a relief. I think he had been this rock that I was letting get in my way, and I realized that there was nothing I could do to move it, but I could decide how I would respond. So I stepped over it. This month has been filled with adventures and romances, and the beginning of November is already off to a spectacular start. We elected Mom Donnie. So you could call this a blessing in disguise. Wow, I didn't realize how long this story was. I've really only said it out loud to the homies, but here you have it. If you've read this far, you guys are insanely special people. If I can leave you with one more thing, is that given the opportunity, I would always trust love one more time, because at the very least, you'll get a kick-ass story. Much love and thanks, Luna.
I think people need to appreciate that their favorite little vocal stem, trust love one more time, comes from an episode about vengeance pirates. So just remember that too. Yeah. Take your revenge, girl. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Is that the Jean episode?
Mm-hmm.
Mom Jeans?
And then she's married to Jean. And then
a lot of people found that episode deeply confusing.
Can't imagine why.
Yeah. I personally have no idea. It was all very clear to me.
Listen, maybe we should re-record every episode. I really kind of feel like we got after this one.
I think we nailed it that time.
We cracked the code. I mean, and we don't have that extensive of a catalog. We can get after it.
Fuck no.
I'm going to end with this. These stories are so wonderful. I've loved all of them. It's fun to go back and listen to them. We incorporated 1 or 2 new ones, so that was fun too. Yeah. Recently, someone on Instagram messaged us that they're like, oh my gosh, I started listening recently, and like this week I am now fully caught up. And I now have to I'm trapped by the Wednesday release schedule. I was just used to you unfiltered. And we get a lot of those messages a lot, and it's very sweet that you guys are like, oh my gosh, I'm fully caught up with everything else. But this week, for whatever reason, I messaged back. I was like, it's crazy that over the last couple months, you've listened to 3 years of our life. And so thank you, as Maya disassociates, for joining us on that journey. Sorry, talking about our catalog makes me think about it. Yeah, it's been 3 years. It'll be 3 years this February that we started to record.
Sometimes I think about it because, like, the closest thing I have to understanding how our listeners feel is like my parasocial relationship with like Em and Christine from That's Why We Drink. And I think I cried at her when she announced that she was pregnant. And now knowing that like other people are that deeply invested in some of our lives is kind of
Since
crazy.
starting this, you and I have both moved and bought new houses. You've gotten married.
That's true.
Yeah.
And engaged, technically.
I think it's also so funny because when you moved, obviously like our studio setup moved, that creates this like weird, it almost feels like a new podcast started in this room because of like object permanence disorder or whatever. But no, we recorded so many at that old place.
I do want to kind of rearrange my office, so we'll see what it looks like when we come back from break.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's exciting. I am a little concerned that you're going to get everything off and then lose motivation, ADHD style.
This is now a source of income, like tiny, but like a source of income. So, and they're counting on us.
They are. Listen, they are.
Yeah. True.
Cut to, we're back at the kitchen table. Yeah. Jacob's here for pretending it's a special episode.
Because this room is like completely destroyed.
There's actually like drywalls being reinstalled. We had a vision.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Well, friends, thank you for joining us.
I'm going to be thinking about that for a while.
3 years. You could go back
3 years of our life in a couple of months.
You can go back and listen to who you were at 24. Right. We keep this up. I'll capture almost every day of my 30s on this podcast.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So anyways, thanks for joining us. Find us on social media. Send us more stories. The next set is Shoot Your Shot. So who knows what any of those stories are going to be about. Hopefully we bleeped it. Submit listener stories for that. Vote. Still for what episodes you would like to see released or re-released when we're on our holiday break. Join us on Patreon for additional content and send the gift that means the most. And by that, we mean I forgot to get you a gift. So here is a cameo request from your parasocial relationship friends this holiday season.
We would love to be that for you. Speaking of which, we have a cameo.
I know. Okay, I saw it last night when I was recording the other one.
The other 10-minute one?
Yeah. Did you watch it?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay, you're going to learn a lot.
Yeah. They did too.
All right, friends. Well, thanks for joining us.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.